Okay. So where will it let me let people in?
So it should say like waiting room, or if you go in the settings, people waiting room, and then I'll text you.
Some good things tonight, but we want to really just get you rallied up and ready to go, and we've got a few more weeks to raise the dollars, right? So my name's Gail Jabot, and John, nice to see you here. I think I know everybody else is in the call. Just going to give you a little update before we pass the torch on to our good friend Nick Salmon. We have raised so far, because I think this is pretty good to kind of know where we're at, right? So Big Brothers Big Sisters have raised $13,770 so far. And this is great. This is already at 14% of their goal. My classes are unlike literally blind. Everett, so where are we at? Nick, listen to this. We're at $89,077 so far. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I was talking to Brittany down the stairs today, and her mouth just dropped open, you know, being a part of the campaign in years past. We're off to a really great start. Pretty proud. We're at 46% of our goal. So I'm just going to call that a 50. By the time we're done tonight, we'll be at 50%, right? And then that's 84 gifts. So 84 personal donations that we've received through you as a campaigner or through people you've talked to. 61 campaigners as well. And one thing we need to work on is, so half of our campaigners have actually raised some money or given a personal donation. So if we all are able to give our personal donation, I think we'll be pushing ourselves to that near that 100% goal, right? How do you feel about that? I got to tell you something. I'm sweating buckets. Why am I even on this bike? I literally have no idea. I've been working out all day, but here I am on this bike. So maybe we could pass the torch over to Nick, and I'll go get a little napkin and wipe some sweat off my eyes.
Great. Thank you very much, Gail. Good evening, everybody. Excited to be here again tonight for a YMCA rally. Before we get going, I am on a bike. I'm not just jigging up and down while sitting behind a desk. And the aim is however many miles, watts, whatever I cover tonight, I will match that with a donation multiplied by that number. So that's the aim tonight. I'm going to keep going. When I do ask you guys a question, I want you to race to come off mute, because every time I ask a question, I'm going to up the resistance a little bit until I get the answer that I want. So please have your finger hovering over that mute button. Otherwise, I might not make it through this evening. But great to have you all with us tonight. Please take yourself off mute quickly. We're going to do a little recap of some of the stuff we covered 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, I talked to you about this incredible acronym I had come up with called YMCA. And I was going to use that structure for the 4 times that we're going to meet for these rallies. So shout it out loud. The Y stands for... The Y stands for you. Yes, that's good. It's going to be a long night.
You.
Okay, the Y stands for you. Last week, we talked all about you and how you are going to make this campaign a success. We talked about a goal. Our goal is
193.5.
Hooray! 194 or even more. What is a goal? Who can remember the definition of a goal?
It was really long. It's really long. It's really long.
I'll give you a clue. Is it avoidable or unavoidable?
Unavoidable.
It's the unavoidable result of
Belief.
belief and focused
Commitment.
effort, commitment, we'll take it. So it's the unavoidable
Yes.
result of belief and focused effort. What do we mean about this? Well, it means our goal, achieving our goal, is absolutely unavoidable if we do just the simple things that we're going to talk about in the next 3 meetings. So we make it an unavoidable outcome. How do we have belief and belief in our goal? Well, we spent some time last time we were together talking about our why. 2 facets to that. One is why is the campaign important? And we talked with Kyla about all the objectives of the campaign to help bring young people into the why, but also the focus this year on seniors, bringing the senior community back into the why. So we talked about the why for the campaign. We also talked about your personal why. Those of you who have done your homework and logged into the YMCA website that Gail sent you the link, there's a little space there to fill out your why statement. I really encourage you to do that. Doesn't have to be public, but just take a moment to think about why you're here. Why is this campaign specifically important to you? Why does it need to be a success? So that's the belief in achieving the goal. We also talked about focused effort. 194.
Or even more.
Yeah, there we go. And we wrote that on a piece of paper. You can even have it on your notebook. But what I really want you to do is stick it on the wall. That way, every time you walk past it, your tiny subconscious brain focuses on that goal and drives your energy towards it. Also, if any other people come in your house and they look at that and go, why on earth have you written that on your wall? It's time for them to get their wallet out. It's a great way to drive accountability. But the last thing we talked about is the one thing that I'm going to have to put a lot into tonight, and that is focused
Effort.
effort. There we go. Effort. If we don't put the effort in, if we don't ask people, we can have all the fancy slogans in the world, we can all ride our bikes, but we are never going to achieve this goal. So that's a quick recap of last time. Thank you very much. We're now going to focus on M, and M this week is movement. We're all about movement. And why did I pick the word movement? Well, it was really interesting. The first meeting that I had talking about this campaign this year with Gail and Megan and Amy, when I joined, it was just after Martin Luther King Day. And you guys had done the trash pickup in and around the local area. And it was amazing to me just joining that Zoom call, the amount of energy that there was on the phone, the amount of energy that these people had spent all afternoon picking up garbage and kids getting excited about picking up diapers. And yet everyone had enjoyed it. Everyone had made a massive difference.
Mm-hmm.
Heather said it on our first meeting. The YMCA isn't a gym and swim place. It's something that's making a movement, making a shift in the community, bringing a massive amount of change to the community. And that's exactly what we're going to do this year with the annual campaign, with the funds raised, going to make a huge difference to the community and the people around us. So that's why tonight I really wanted to focus, rather than just talking about a building or fitness or exercise, let's talk about movement. Now, in particular, when we think movement, we think about a change or a shift. Making a shift in society is what we're going to be able to do with the outcome of raising these funds. And I thought I should really do my homework if I'm going to talk about the YMCA. And so I did a little bit of research about a guy called George Carson. Does anyone know who George Carson is? It's okay to say no. George Carson, anyone? 1909. Well, George was a man in 1909, went to the Detroit YMCA. And he had a vision off the back of their annual campaign. He wanted to teach every young man in America how to swim. George had this massive goal that he set for himself, similar to our massive goal for the campaign. And he did it. He saw it through. He made a massive shift. He trained 800 people to swim in just 4 weeks. An incredible change, Starting from nothing, came in there with a goal and a vision and saw it through. And so what I want to talk about tonight when we talk about change and us leading change in the community through this annual campaign is the 3 things that drive change. How do we bring about change? What do we need to do? And to do that, I'm going to have a lot of swimming references. Why am I on a bike? Well, this speech wouldn't sound very good if I was trying to do it in the pool. So I chose a bike instead. So let's talk about the 3 things that you need to do in order to make change. Does anyone want to have a guess what the first thing is if you want to bring about change that you need to do? Anyone at all?
You have to decide.
Decide? Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, if you've got to make a decision that this is your goal and you're going to go after it. And when you've decided, what's the next step you have to do? We're all very good about talking about doing something, but how many people actually make
a plan?
Make a plan? Even better than that, we've made a plan, we're ready to go. All we need to do is
Do it.
yes. All we need to do is start, we need to begin. Zig Ziglar said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And that's all we need to do. And it's really interesting. I was down at the Y last night, and the kids were there for swimming lesson. Great, by the way, to feel the energy back in the YMCA and have everyone back there and participating. But as you looked along the edge of the pool, it went from stage 1, 2, 3, and then the stage 4 swimmers were swimming lengths up and down. And it was really interesting to watch the stage 1 swimmers. And they were all standing back, and they were all a little bit nervous and kind of not really looking around, and nobody really wanted to get in or put their toe in the water. And that's what we have whenever we want to make a change. Whenever we have to start something new, we have to make that first step. And that's the hardest thing to do, because what's stopping us making that first step? What normally stops us making a change in our lives, in anything? What are those kids? Fear, that's right. Those kids don't want to get in the pool. They're scared of it, the fear of the unknown, the fear of making that initial first step. And so if you want to be a change, if you want to make any change in your life or in your community like we are, the first thing you have to move past is that fear. And we have fear throughout this campaign, fear of getting started. 50% of us haven't even done that. Fear of asking somebody, just making that first awkward question or explaining your why to the first person. If we are going to be change leaders for this community, we have to do that first step. We have to put our toe in the water. Jump in if you want, go for it. But the first thing you need to do is put that toe in the water. So make a start is the first driver for change. When we are embarking on the change, so we've made a start, we've got in, maybe we're level 1. When kids and anybody's taught to do anything, how do we start them off? Do we start them off showing them everything? Or do we show them little bits, little pieces to get going? Do you start them off throwing them in and saying, go give me a butterfly? Or do you start them off by saying, let's work on our floats or our hands? Which one is it? Lots or little? Do we try and bite off big chunks or small chunks if we want to make a change?
Small bites.
Small bites, that's absolutely right. We have to make tiny changes, and they all add up over time. Learning the initial bits of a stroke, and then you build on and build on. Golf swing, if you've ever tried to learn golf, you can't teach anyone a golf swing. They have to start, and then you have to give them little things to change and tweak as they improve their swing. And that's some of the issue that we have whenever we bring about change. Weight loss is a really good one. Part of the reason I'm on this diet tonight is I'm looking to lose a few pounds. But what we do when we try and do a weight loss is we go too far, right? The first day we're out there, we're busting it. We're doing 45 minutes on the bike, or we're running for an hour, or we're swimming as many lengths as we can till our lungs burst. And then the next day, we can't do anything. We're broken, we're stiff, we're sore. We put it off a few days. We fall off and we have to start all over again. The biggest thing people get wrong when they make a change is they actually try and do too much. We all want this massive result. We all want this big thing. And we're all convinced that we can get it overnight. But you can't. Change is a compound effect. You have to do the small things consistently, and they build and build and build to a massive result. Same with this campaign. Gail just gave us the numbers. This campaign's not going to be complete by someone writing a $194,000 check. I know I can't do it, and I've had a quick look through my phone book, and I don't know anyone I can call who'll do it either. It's going to be achieved by doing the small things consistently, those little steps, those little asks. Every single dollar counts as we build this compound effect. Because I'm an aviation geek, I love this one. I love this fact. If a plane takes off from LA and flies to New York, if it has a 1% difference in its course over the course of that flight, it ends up 150, 200 miles away from New York. It misses its destination. And that's how the compound effect builds and builds. Just a minor shift that we're looking to make. Ask one person a week, ask two people a week, will build a compound effect and achieve that result. So we've got to start. We've got to take small chunks. If I'm back in the pool at the YMCA, I'm looking along, I'm now up to kind of level 3, maybe even the level 4s, and they're swimming, and they're trying to swim lengths, and they can't quite make it. And they have to stop and pause, and then keep going and keep trying. What are those kids doing? What are they doing in order to finish that length? Why do they keep going down there if they can't quite make it every time? Any ideas? Why do we have swimming lessons twice a week and keep going on rotation programs kind of for 8, 10 lessons? What are we trying to do? We're trying to practice. We're trying to do the same thing consistently over and over again. There's a great Tony Robbins quote. If you want to achieve a different outcome, stop doing the same thing you were doing. Everything we do in life is a habit, and we keep doing those habits over and over, and they have a result. I know my habit. I was drinking too much IPA and not exercising, and I've seen the result. Small things over time build and build and build. And so that's the third challenge with bringing about change. It'd be great if you went away from this meeting and you made your pledge, or you made 1 or 2 phone calls to raise money, but we have to do it consistently. We are never going to reach that goal with just 1 or 2 spurts. It has to be a consistent, repeatable delivery. There are no overnight successes. I love the analogy of the tide, right? Down here in Mukilteo, the tide comes in and we don't see it coming. The tide goes out and we don't really see it's going, but we see the end result. We see a massive clear beach all of a sudden, and we're like, well, what happened? What's changed? The sun shifts by 2 minutes every single day, but we don't notice it because it's such a small change, but it makes the same change over and over and over again until we get a massively different outcome and a massively different result at the end. So we're going to recap because I'm nearly out of breath. We talked a lot tonight about movement, about delivering a change, about being a change maker in the community. If you want to bring about change, what's the first thing you have to do?
You have to start.
Hooray! I thought my headphone had fallen out. That's right, you have to start. We have to put our toe in the water. We have to jump in. We have to sign up. We have to get out there. We have to make our very first ask. What's the second thing we have to do if we want to bring about change in a community? It's not big, it's
Small steps.
small steps. That's right. We have to do tiny little things, a little bit of exercise, cut out the donuts, just make small shifts. And over time, you get a compound effect. And finally, the third thing we need to do, we've started, we've made small chunks, but what do we need to keep doing after that?
Practice, consistency.
Exactly. Keep doing the same thing over and over again until it builds to a final compound result. Whew. Thank you very much. Let's do a quick recap. YMCA. The Y stands for
You.
you. That's right. Focus on that goal. Make it an unavoidable result. The M stands for
Movement.
movement. That's right. We are change makers in the community. We do that by starting, We do that by making small changes, and we achieve it by doing things consistently over and over again. The C, and I'll remind you because I'm too tired, the C stands for commitment. Remain committed to the program, remain focused. We agreed to do this. We need to see this through for the next couple of weeks. And finally, the A stands for ask. People don't donate if they aren't asked. So make sure you get out there and make those asks. Thank you very much. I'm gonna have a drink. I got a whole new respect for those Peloton instructors. Well, and you, Gail, I guess.
I can't believe you keep using the word Peloton. You need to stop saying it. We have our
Sorry.
own thing here. It's called Ride. We got something
Okay.
different. Yeah. Not offended, but
Awesome. Have we been joined by our special guest for the evening? I can't quite see.
yep. Sam is
Hey,
right
Sam.
there.
Hey, nice to meet you, Sam. I'm Nick. How you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing? I feel like every single YMCA director now needs to have a Peloton. Oh, no, sorry, not a Peloton, but a bike for every single Zoom meeting, ready to go. Because that was. Sorry, I chimed in late. I'm with some kids tonight. But for those who haven't met me, my name is Sam Toft. I am the teen program director for the Everett YMCA. And the annual campaign is a little, it's special to me because one, it's my first one, so this is kind of fun to see all this energy in a Zoom meeting, which is awesome to see. But two, the reason why I'm able to be in this position today is because of last year's annual campaign, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity that the community has really given me to be a part of this community, which is almost kind of weird to say, but being able to do team programs here it's literally changed my life. I moved here from Mankato, Minnesota about 7 months ago. So new community, completely new state, never been out here before. But I've loved almost every single second of it, besides the clouds and the rain. I'm not really used to that quite yet, but in Minnesota, it's like -30 right now. So they can have that and I'll take the clouds. I want to talk about a couple of things that we've been able to do with that awesome annual campaign we did last year. In teen programs, we've started things called a MAP program, which MAP used to be super prevalent in our community. With the pandemic, it's kind of had to do a little mini reset. But for those who don't know it, it's also called the My Achievers program. And we take kids who are in lower socioeconomic communities, and the main goal is get them to graduate and get them to rethink, what can they be with themselves? What can they do with their lives? A lot of these kids I've dealt with, they think that they are going to be working 2 jobs their entire life, and they don't think they can have that stable job, that normal 9 to 5. And even just changing that mindset was honestly the goal, my first goal, because I literally had a kid named, I call him JoJo. I don't know how to pronounce his name quite honestly. It's kind of bad, but it's like really long, but he likes JoJo. JoJo said, I'm going to work at McDonald's in the morning, and then I'm going to work at a warehouse in the afternoon. And I'm like, what about more than that? There's more to life than that, right? And just having these kids understand that there's more than just working 2 jobs was the big thing. And it's awesome because it's a free program, it's in the schools, so it's really easy access to them. And it's one of my favorite programs to run because the kids want to be there. They don't have to be there. They choose to be there, and they really, really love being a part of something. What I have going on tonight actually is it's called Youth in Government. Currently, I have a small group, but the small group is very mighty and they're very opinionated, and I love it because they're really, really right. They love debating. Youth in Government's a program where you can no longer smoke in cars with children in them because of YMCA Youth Legislature. It's a program where kids are able to debate, and they're able to go to the actual Washington State Congress in Olympia, and they will write bills, they'll debate there. They'll basically do a mock U.S. Congress, and it's super cool. If their bills passed at that Y legislator, they get sent to the actual governor, and sometimes they even get some Congress or state representatives to sponsor their bills, and they'll actually debate on the Washington State floor. So the common one is the smoking with children in cars, which is now illegal. It's kind of cool to say that the YMCA is actually, we can tell these kids, hey, you can actually make a change if you work hard enough. And we do it in a nonpartisan way to teach democracy, because the motto of it is democracy needs to be taught to the next generation. And these kids, absolutely, I have one that's trying to end homelessness in Seattle, which I really want to give him like the absolute world, because good luck with that. But he's trying. He's going to do it in phases. I have one that wants to work on mental health in schools. So the real world issues that they can clearly see out, they can just look on their drive into their community. They can see ideas how they want to fix it. And it's really cool to see these young people get empowered to do that. Another program that we've been working on is called Leaders Club. Leaders Club is a leadership development program, but it also teaches kids how they can make an impact in the community regardless of like how big or how small. My group of kids right now is planning a food drive. One of the kids had this idea because on their drive to work, he talked about how he can see about 7 to 8 kids, not kids, adults who are homeless on just in this drive-in every single day. And he always talks about how, we need to get these people food. And so that kind of got the steam rolling for everyone and their ideas. The club's really cool because I'm extremely hands-off. I'm basically just the guide, and it's a kid-led. So I'm like the invisible hand in the background, but their ideas, I'm gonna let them run with it. They're gonna see what they're gonna do, for better or for worse. They get kind of heated with each other because kids and ideas, they have some priorities, but it's a really, really fun process to watch them get through it together and learn how to be a team together. One of my biggest things that I've actually really enjoyed is our beautiful teen center here at Everett Y. I have seen so much growth in kids who consider that as their second home. And a lot of the Y people know him, his name is Sonny. And Sonny walks from Whittier Elementary to the YMCA every single day after school. My first month and a half I met him, he actually lied about his age so he could get into the teen center every single day. And when I found out, I kind of looked at him and was like, I'm not mad at you one bit, because he just wanted a place to stay. And he always comes back. He's someone that will always, he walks in with a smile on his face. He rode a scooter yesterday and he was so proud of it. He was like, hey, I didn't walk today. I brought a scooter. And it was just one of those things that just, kids like him make my day every single day. It's just, it's the small impacts that we're able to do, even just in a room, is absolutely just outstanding. And so I am extremely grateful for the opportunity to have been supported in this, because these lives that we're changing in that room doesn't happen without a strong annual campaign. And I just want to thank Nick. I already want to run through a wall for you, and I met you for about 6 minutes. So I really appreciate it.
It's mutual, because you've given me 10 minutes to get my breath back. So.
But I can't thank everyone enough for everything that they do. And I love the YMCA. I never thought of that YMCA annual campaign little slogan thing. I like that a lot. I'm going to start using that. I wrote that down.
Cool. Thank you, Sam. I had a load of questions to ask you, but I mean, you've really covered them all. And it's fantastic to see that the energy that you just bring, to your role, to your job, and the passion that you have. So fantastic. I think the money couldn't have gone to a better place. So thank you so much. I did just have one question. I'm not sure you necessarily answered it. So why did you choose the YMCA? Why have you made this move across the country? What was the real draw to the YMCA for you?
Well, I've worked for the Y in Minnesota for about 4 years. I'm actually a 3rd generation YMCA employee. My dad and my grandpa both worked for the YMCA. I was a Y kid. I was the one that bothered all the front desk workers growing up. I was at camp every single summer. I think I've always been kind of energetic, while my older siblings have been kind of more calm and mellow. So when I walked into the room, everyone kind of knew I was there. So I imagine myself as a younger kid being kind of a pain, but the Y has really changed my life. I learned how to be a man in the Y. I did all the leadership development programs growing up. I did all the summer camps. And it's a way of life. It's not a job. It's a way of life. And everyone that I'm around when I've been through the Y, it's the positivity, the camaraderie, the family environment is unbeatable to any other work environment I've ever been in. So that's why. So
awesome. Thank you very much. Can we have a round of applause for Sam? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Is that it, Gail? Am I done?
Yeah, well, actually, I think we could do another hour.
I got
that's okay with you.
I gotta go.
Can you tell me you had 3 pounds to lose? We'll wait. We're with you. We're here for you.
Here on my TV. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Nick. You can stop pedaling. Seriously.
Okay. Do you want
we
to hear
feel
my
so
final...
bad, you're panting and gasping. It's God, just stop already. Nice. So but look at John. John's daughter, you motivated her. Look, can you see her in the picture? She's over there and she's moving. She's on her bike too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, she's over here on the bike right now. Yeah. She loves
Nice.
it.
What's her
She's
name,
pretty on further
John?
than me already.
This
You
is
know what?
Cecilia. Cecilia over here.
Cecilia. Oh, you keep going. We'll stop when she's done. No. Well, thank you so much for.
Good luck.
I know, kids. Thank you so much for being on the call tonight. We have 61 campaigners on our Everett team, and we have a lot more that are part of Big Brothers Big Sisters. I know we have like a little call to action for each of us, and I think these rallies are super worthwhile. Hopefully you can give me some feedback and what impact you're getting from it. But the way that we can stay together and stay connected and really make these small steps to make the big impact is to continue to meet and be together and kind of learn a little bit more. And so just, speak a little bit more to the other campaigners that are on our chart and our teams and invite them to be part of this. Feel free to speak up about it. And if you don't know what to say, ask me and I'll tell you what to say. Like, I'll just tell you what to say, or I'll say it myself. But I love what Nick was saying today. And I really believe that every single person on this team has already dipped their toes in the water. The minute you said you wanted to be part of the Y in any way, you dipped your toes in the water. And now each week, if we ask one more person than the week before, then that's getting us more on course to hitting New York airport instead of going on that big, huge detour that he's doing. So we want to get on course. It's a big number, 194 or even more. So Glenn, you don't know, we are not doing 193.5. And if you don't know Glenn, Glenn is our advancement director. What's your title? He's in charge of the whole thing.
I'm the community campaign director, and you'll have to excuse my tenacity for exactness when it comes to numbers. I'm a bit of a numbers nerd, but I'm all in with this mission and all of you, and this is so fantastic.
Glenn, can I just ask you a question?
Of course.
Will you be upset if we get 194?
Yeah, because I think you do 204.
Oh, so you're just making up numbers now? Okay, all right. You put a new number in your spreadsheet.
All right, I will.
All right, so we've already taken the first step. I need you guys to think, write it down on a piece of paper. What is one small change? What is one difference? One thing different I can do this week that will make a change and get us closer to our goal. If you've only asked one person, ask two people. If you've not even asked a person, ask one person. If you've not donated, donate. Start there. There's things that we can do that is going to keep putting us closer to that big target. And it's a big target, but as you listen to Sam, it's so worth it. And you'll learn more through this campaign. I'm excited. I hope you are. I can see you are. And then, there's one thing that we're going to do. Nick, you just inspired us. You just inspired me, Nick, on that bike, and Cecilia on the bike. So what we're going to do on March the 1st, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in our lobby, anyone that wants to inspire someone to give will pedal for the dollars. So during that time, we'll have some time slots available. We've got 61 campaigners. That means, so when I first ever pedaled in the lobby, I pedaled for 12 hours all by myself. And then the next year I had 4 people help. And then the next year it happened in 3 branches. And then the next year, 12 people helped. And we raised thousands of dollars. And not only that, we raise awareness. And Brittany and I, as I said, we talked today, how many percentage of our members even know about annual campaign? Do you even know the answer? Glenn, you want to tell us the answer? How many members know about or give to annual campaign?
It's historically about 8 to 10%.
And
So-
we're part of history. It's true here too.
Yeah.
So think of all the opportunities. Our branch is fuller now. We have opportunity to pedal. If you want to sign up for a time slot for 30 minutes, for an hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours, and maybe that's the way you can drive your campaign dollars. People might support you, and they will support you if you're going to do something phenomenal like that. But that's on March 1st. We have more rallies. Megan will update us all on the new rally date, the upcoming rally dates and more celebrations. But other than that, I'm done unless Kyla has something to say.
So I've got an unstable internet connection here, so I'm not sure if you can hear me, but Nick, thank you so much. And Sam's gone, but what a wonderful story that Sam shared. And it's true, you know, when we were in the middle of the pandemic and we're like, how do we bring back youth programs? And we said, we need to be able to raise funds to be able to bring back people who can work with youth. Sam's position was one of those, and the amazing stuff we've been able to do by having somebody who can now engage youth and connect and really make a difference in the community through engaging with these teens. I mean, changing their goals, changing their outlooks is just amazing. So thank you for being here tonight. Nick, I'll match what you have raised from cycling tonight. So let me know what that amount is. I'll put it through CORE. And thank you everyone for being here. I'm excited for our 250,000 we're gonna hit. So 194 and even more. So thank you.
All right. Well, everyone have an amazing evening. Go make a difference in our community. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye,
Ciao.
everyone. Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.